Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you from wherever you are. Welcome to this live ACSS broadcast on Russia sanctions on LinkedIn. Sorry, that was my screen projecting my broadcast on LinkedIn. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We've had these broadcasts for a couple of weeks now since the new sanctions have been imposed against Russia by the US, the EU, and the UK. And every day we try to update you on the latest changes. And every week on Wednesdays, I try to update you on the latest changes, specifically on export controls. If you are joining us for the first time, my name is Alexander Witt, and I'm a sanctions and export controls consultant with the Association of Certified Sanctions Specialists, ACSS. If we look back at the latest export control related updates that we've seen from the US Department of Commerce, the Bureau of Industry and Security, BIS, I wanted to talk about two updates that we've seen in the last week and this week. First of all, on the 14th of April, BIS publicly identified 10 additional aircraft in likely violation of US export controls, including the first 7 Belarusian-owned and operated commercial aircraft identified since restrictions on Belarus were tightened via regulation effective on the 8th of April 2022. BIS also updated the tail numbers of 32 planes already on the list to account for the planes' purported re-registration in Russia. It authorized 2 planes to leave Russia, noting that they would be removed from the list. This action followed BAS orders on 7 April denying the export privileges of 3 Russian airlines, including Aeroflot, Azur Air, and UT Air, citing ongoing export violations related to US export controls imposed against Russia. In addition to this update, on April 19th, OFAC published a fact sheet guaranteeing the provision of basic foodstuffs and agricultural product commodities, humanitarian and other assistance by NGOs, medicine and medical devices, COVID-19 relief, and telecommunications and internet services to support the flow of information in Russia and Ukraine. Please visit the website of Treasury for this update if you are working in the agricultural sector or communication sector. OFAC stated that these activities are not the target of their sanctions efforts and that the US and non-US persons can avail themselves of the authorizations, exemptions, and public guidance that the Treasury has issued as they continue to engage in these activities in relation to Ukraine and Russia. Now we will have a look at two updates that we've seen in the past week in the UK concerning export controls on Russia. On the 14th of April 2022, the Russia Sanctions EU Exit Amendment number 8 was published. It amended the 2019 regulations. This amendment extends the existing import sanctions measures by prohibiting the import, acquisition, supply, and delivery, directly or indirectly, of finished steel and articles of iron and steel. Now, the prohibitions include the export of luxury goods to or for use in Russia. A person must not directly or indirectly supply or deliver luxury goods from a third country to a place in Russia, make luxury goods available to a person connected with Russia, and make luxury goods available for use in Russia. In addition, the prohibitions include the import of iron and steel products which are consigned from Russia, the import of iron and steel products which originate in Russia, and the direct or indirect acquisition of iron and steel products which originate in Russia or which are located in Russia. All of this information can be found on the website Russia Sanctions Guidance, which has been updated on the 14th of April. So if you would like to know more about the latest updates from the UK concerning Russia sanctions and export controls, I highly recommend visiting this guidance website on Government UK. In the past week, or since the fifth round of sanctions imposed by the EU, there have been no big or important updates in the past week or this week. If you would like to learn more about the rounds of sanctions that have been imposed by the European Union, including the fifth round of EU sanctions, I would recommend you to watch our older broadcasts, which can be found on LinkedIn if you go to the LinkedIn page of ACSS. And in these videos, you will have our executive director Saskia explaining the latest sanctions against Russia, and also my videos focusing on export controls from the past weeks. I will not go into detail on the measures that have been imposed in the past weeks. I found one update which I thought was interesting, and it was a statement made by the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen when she visited Ukraine last week. The statement issued by the president reiterates continued European support to Ukraine. And von der Leyen also noted that exports in goods to Russia have fallen almost 71%. Inflation is around 20% and rising. And business confidence in Russia is at its lowest level since 1995. More than 700 private companies have left Russia since the imposition of the new sanctions. And EU member states have frozen 225 billion euros of private Russian assets since the beginning of the war. As you have seen, we didn't have a lot of new restrictions concerning export controls coming from the US, the UK, or the EU. I think that the past weeks have been quite intense already, and I don't know if there will be any new measures. According to my knowledge, there are no new measures that have been announced. Of course, all these three, the US, the UK, and the EU, are working closely together to put more pressure on Russia, but we will update you on the measures once they are enforced. Just a quick reminder that ACSS has two webinars that are coming up. One of the webinars is on the 28th of April. It will be in Spanish. And for those of you who are Spanish speaking or work in South America, you can join us for this webinar next Thursday. It is for free for everybody. And this webinar will discuss the latest sanctions by OFAC and the effect on South American, Latin American companies. And on the 5th of May, we have a webinar for ACSS members focusing on sanctions compliance for fintech and payment companies. It will be a really interesting webinar where we will have very interesting speakers from the technology sector, blockchain, cryptocurrencies. So please join us for the webinars if you're interested. And I would also like to mention that ACSS has created a website on our main homepage called Navigating Sanctions Against Russia, where you will find a lot of resources to help you with the latest sanctions against Russia, including an FAQ section and sanctions updates for US, EU, and UK sanctions, and many more resources. So please visit our website and have a look at this website. Hopefully, it can help you navigate sanctions against Russia. So thank you very much for joining us today. I hope this was a bit of an insight to you, and we will now receive questions if you have any. Okay, thanks a lot for watching today's broadcast. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can always find us through our website, and hopefully see you again tomorrow and next time. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.